What is up, everyone? Today I bring you another episode of Corpse Party. El libre de la oscuridad. Ciao. That's not what that means, bro. I don't know how you say shadows in Spanish. I'm sorry. What is it? Sombra? Right? It'd be wait, Sombra? Wait a second. Is this an Overwatch reference? Wait a second. Either way, y'all already know, bro. We finna hop into this bitch. We're gonna make like bunnies and wait a second. Wait, I went through the wrong part. Hold on, this isn't it. We gonna make like bunnies and we gonna hop into this bitch. Yes, sir. But we need to start a new chapter. We need to do encounter. Now, my question here is, who are we gonna see? Cause like, okay, we saw Seiko's like little story, right? Well, Naomi and Seiko's little story. We saw Mayu's story. Who else did we see? Cladra. We saw the teacher, Miss Yui. I think Miss. Well, I think her name's Yui. We saw her get clapped as well. So is that who are we gonna see next? Let's see. Let's find out. Satoshi. Satoshi's the guy, right, Mochida?
これ23だよな。それとも33か？まったく山崎先生の字は読みづらいな。はあ
Oh shit. This really wasn't my day. I knocked over my alarm clock this morning and of course it stopped working. That's so unfortunate. The very last pork sandwich sold out right before my eyes during lunch. And I was roped into a favor when I happened upon my homeroom teacher, Ms. Yamazaki, long after the disco day had ended, bro. So now, like it or not, I was on my way to deliver some notes to Miss Yui, our homeroom TA, who was out sick with a cold. Wait, so you got to, bro, you're actually personally delivering some shit to Miss Yui, bro? At her crib? Hey, bro, all I'm saying is there's an opportunity here, Satoshi, bro. You can low-key leave with a newfound prestige.
今日は早く帰ってゆかの買い物に付き合ってやる予定だったし。天神5番地23の11。ここか。これが6番地33の77とかじゃなければ。だけど。
Wait, this is where she stays? Damn, girl, bro, I could take care of you, Miss Yui, bro. Shit, let's do something. Shit, move in with me. I stopped and compared the memo in my hand with the apartment building in front of me. Shit looked like a fucking warehouse, bruh. They got you working. This ain't no house. Probably about 20 years old. It didn't seem very solid, nor was it particularly stylish or chic. It was a completely unremarkable structure in every way. That's what I'm saying.
201?
I was really getting fed up with this handwriting from a teacher, no less. In any case, it seemed certain that the apartment was on the second floor, so I trudged up the startlingly narrow, steep stairs. The metal staircase was thoroughly blotched with patches of rust. Why would someone live in such a rundown apartment building? I bet you rent there probably costs like a Dr. Pepper and a bag of chips, bro.
先生の給料ってもしかしてすごく安かったりするのか?
Hey, you'd be surprised. I felt a little sorry for her, but in a way, this place kind of fit her personality. Wait, why do you say that, bro? Is it because she's humble or because she's a piece of shit? With that thought in mind, I turned my attention towards apartment 201.
ここが201号室か。でもゆい先生の家じゃないな。
Putting all my doubts and misgivings aside, I rang the doorbell. Then I waited, and waited, and waited more, but there was no answer.
俺、呼び鈴をしたよな。ゆい先生!
Rang the bell again, and also tried calling out, but there was still no response.
どうしよう。寝てんのかな。起こしちゃ悪いけど、でも心配だしな。
Just feed like the papers in through like the little door thing, bruh. Just, I don't know. You did what you could. When we had heard that Miss Yui was staying home sick today, we were all pretty disappointed. Bro, I'd be just as disappointed too, bro. Like shit, bro. You're telling me Flying Shake isn't pulling up to school, bro? The only reason why I go to school isn't going to school, bro? I'm out of here. That's why part of me was actually a little happy that I was asked to run these over to her. Satoshi's feeling her, bro. Shit, bro, I was too, but I figured I'd be able to check in, see how she was doing, and let everyone at school know that she was feeling better.
けど会えないっていうのは想定外だったな。
Damn.
ゆい先生、ゆい先生。反応なしか。ゆい先生、すみません。
She was probably sleeping or out at the doctor's or something, but what if she were hurt? I tried opening the mail slot and peeking in. Oh, what's she about to see? I thought maybe I could get a glimpse of the room
ゆい
inside.
先生。
It felt kind of wrong peeking into someone's house without their permission, but I was legitimately worried about Miss Yui's health, so my conscience was clear on this one. Man, I'm looking, bro. I'm not trying to see this pussy, bro. Fuck. I'm trying to see a different. I'm trying to see Miss Yui's, bro.
あ、猫。
No, you can't call him that. I'm kidding. A well-groomed cat was facing the door and staring back at me. With its head tilted slightly to the side, it let out an adorable meow. It speaks to him. It's like, "What do you want, bitch?" This must be the cat I was instructed to beware. And since Miss Yui was always going on and on about her little buddy, I was pretty sure I remembered his
こ
name.
の子が噂のモレじゃなくて、確かモネ。どっか外出中とか？空いてたりしないかな。
Unless? Lost in speculation, I placed my hand on the doorknob. And with a quick twist, I turned it and pushed on the door, opening it easily.
え？鍵かかってないのか。うわ、いけねえ。モネが出たら大変だ。
Bro, you can't be letting yourself in like this, bro. But then again, shit, bro, what if she's in the shower and shit, bro? Satoshi, why don't you check on her? Maybe she fell. I don't fucking know.
お前のご主人様は不用心だな。鍵もかけてないなんて。
Monet's whiskers twitched as I called out to him from the entranceway.
なんだ？その通りだにゃって。
Huh?
モネもやっぱりそう思うか。
Bro, why is this cat looking at me like this? Bro can read my mind, bro. You know I'm thinking about Miss Yui. Here I was talking to a cat. Was this what I had become?
どうしよう。
I was feeling pretty uneasy. Not only had I peeped into someone's home, I'd walked in without a second thought. Moreover, this was where Miss Yui lived, alone. In other words, a woman's apartment.
Mochida です。
Still nothing. Maybe she was asleep on the other side of that door.
確かめてみ。
Nah, Satoshi swears he's doing this for the better of the world, bro. But no, bro, he knows damn well he's trying to peek, bro. Shaking my head furiously, I cast out that sudden impulse. That was a terrible idea. Pure and simple. Entering the apartment unannounced was bad enough, but walking all the way in, opening that sliding door and peeking inside? That was just too much.
このタイミングでゆい先生が外から帰ってきたりしたら、俺結構まずい。
Nah, bro. Him saying this right now means it's gonna fucking happen, bro.
じゃなくて、だいぶまずい。
Monet mewed, as if in agreement. Panicking, I once again surveyed my surroundings. I almost felt like there were eyes on me, staring with disdain. But of course nobody was there.
あ、そうだ。 書き置きを残していけばいいんじゃないか？
Why did it take you this long to think of that? Wondering why I didn't think of this sooner. Okay. I dug into my bag for some paper and a pen.
山崎先生から頼まれたのでって書いておけばいいんだよな。俺のノートでいいや。ゆい先生
Crouching in the doorway, I ran my pen across the page. I brought class notes at Mr. Yamazaki's behest. Everyone has been worried about you. Sorry about barging into your apartment.
あと、不用心だから鍵はかけた方がいいと思いますと。ん？
Oh my god. Until just a moment ago, this house had no signs of human life in it. But now, I could feel someone standing directly ahead. Standing and looking down at me. Fidgeting nervously, I put down my pen. Raised my head slowly. Saw a white, slender ankle. What? Okay. Shocked, I shot my head up, and there, standing before me, was Miss Yui. Ew, looking all... Shit. I don't even know what to say.
先生。
She was looking right at me, but she seemed decidedly out of sorts. Her hair looked disheveled. You know what, bro? This word carries meaning, bro. Why? No shit, right? It's got a fucking... It's a word, right? But besides this, bro, I remember looking this up and whenever I was reading Danganronpa, bro, when I was playing Danganronpa, bro. Don't ask me what it means, though. I forgot what it meant. I looked disheveled. Her gaze was unsteady and her pajamas were in complete disarray. She was like a completely different person from the usual kempt educator we'd come to know and love.
ゆい先生、俺勝手に入っちゃって。
I stood up frantically and held out the note I'd been writing, but Yui was just standing there, stupefied, with a completely vacant expression on her face.
先生。
I called out to her as gently as I could, but she was really dazed. She seemed almost like a ghost.
先生、どうしちゃったんだよ。
I had a sudden uneasy feeling. Worried, I walked up to Miss Yui, grabbed her shoulders, and tried to snap her out of it by shaking her. But instead... Aw, dude, you about to get infected, bro.
うわ！
This just seemed to make her cough. Oh, bro, bro, you might as well just go to the doctor now, bro. You're clapped.
先生！
I was like, man, don't be doing that shit in front of me, shit, bro. These were wet. Okay. Hold on. Wait, okay. You know what, though? Because a dry cough exists, I can kind of understand the idea of calling a cough wet. But, like, who the fuck calls it a wet cough, bro? Like, what the fuck? These were wet, productive coughs, and spit was shooting out of Miss Yui's mouth with each one. I frantically tried to shield my face from the spray, but my reaction time wasn't quick enough. Bro low-key wanted it, bro.
寒いの？でも汗かいてるよ。
I thought maybe her sweat had cooled her down, but then I realized her disheveled pajamas certainly weren't doing her any favors. With heart pounding a mile a minute and face red as a traffic light, I set about buttoning her up.
ゆい先生、俺のことわかる？持田だよ。
See, that's how you know Satoshi's a great guy, because I would have done the opposite and been like, oh, you're cold, bro? Here, let me put you... let me take this off and put something better on. Shit. I'll play it, bro. Never take advantage of a woman, bro. Never, bro. I'm saying that right now, bro. These are all jokes, bro. I absolutely do not condone that, nor do I, like, think that's a great idea, bro.
寒いならちゃんと布団で寝ないと。
Valid, bro.
出ないと治るもんも治らないって。
She absentmindedly extended her shaking arms like a zombie, slowly reopened her eyes and looked up at me. It was the gaze of a severely fevered
ゆい
mind.
先生、
司くん。
え？うわー
Okay. So, let's think about this. We have two choices. We accept this and just let it happen. Or we let it happen and accept it. I'll play this. It's like, we're letting this shit happen, bro. I'm getting... Bro. Okay, what's up?
司くん。司くん。
Who is that?
え？
Miss Yui was clinging to me tightly. I couldn't move. I was frozen in shock. She began to weep.
来てくれたのね。司くん。
Who's that?
つかさ？
That's what I'm wondering.
嬉しい。よかった。
先生待って、人違いだよ。
It seemed like I wasn't getting through to her at all. And the sensation of her... Okay. And the sensation of her chest as she held me was making it virtually impossible to fight her grip, dude. Alright. I was utterly powerless against this opponent. Yeah, okay, bro. I'd never realized before just how soft the woman's chest really was. Nah, homeboy is fucking bricked. God, am I that weak-willed? I had to remind myself that Miss Yui had me confused with someone else. Mustering all the strength I could, I gripped her arms and slowly tried to pry them off of me. I gripped her arms and tried to pry them off of me. But she was a lot stronger than I anticipated and wouldn't let me get away.
怖かったよ、司くん。怖かったわ。
怖かった？
まさか来てくれるなんて思わなかった。
You know, it wouldn't be a chorus party game with some shit like this in between all the scares, bro. As she squeezed me tightly, I felt as though my upper body might collapse under the pressure of her softest parts. I was blushing uncontrollably.
ゆい先生、ちょっと離れて。
Cause like I can't, like, girl, if you hold on any longer, I don't know how much longer I can hold on, bro. Shit.
先生ってば。
I struggled to wriggle free, but Miss Yui only grabbed me tighter. Dude, what is this? Our bodies were getting more and more intertwined, and every time I squirmed, Miss Yui would just pull me in even closer.
うわ
As her chest rose and fell erratically, droplets of sweat slid down her into her cleavage. I could feel the heat of her fever radiating off of her steadily encroaching face, as well as the shoulders I'd grab in an effort to push away.
そばにいて、司くん。お願い。
だから人違い。
Questions were swirling around in my head. Why was Miss Yui crying? And who was this Tsukasa person, bro? But I was most concerned for the state of her pajamas, which had become even more disheveled during our struggle. No, the fuck you was not. Shut your bitch ass up.
先生、パジャマ、ズボン、
Your pants?
ずり落ちてるから。
司くん。あったかい。
Okay, you know we back in the beat. We in the kitchen, we cooking meat. Get all the homies, it's gon' be a feast, yeah. We fucking cooking this bitch, I'm chefing it up. These bitches bout to pull up, they don't know what's up. I'm bout to give them pipe, lay them down every night. Yo bitch ain't safe, either she gon' get... Damn it, I stuttered, bro. Dude. I hate when I freaking get stuck on some shit like this, bro. Cause like, look, this beat is slow enough for you to have time to think about the next thing to say, bro. And I'm still fucking up, bro. But see, the reason why I cut though is because I got interrupted yesterday, so I had to shit, I had to dip, but like shit, bro. Hey, we coming right back in. Okay, so I don't remember if I read this part or not, but here we go. I'd taken care of Yuka any number of times when she'd caught a cold and drawn a fever, but I don't recall it ever getting this bad, bro. Bro, you don't, bro, in what instance does a woman get so damn sick that she's delirious, that she thinks that, actually, you know what, bro? That's what fevers be doing, though, real talk. Honestly, though, man, I ain't ever take care of someone this delirious, bro. Shit, bro. Shit, bro. I wouldn't be opposed to it, bro. I'd risk getting sick for this. Miss Yui was usually calm, collected, and rational. Who would have ever imagined that a fever would leave her so thoroughly discombobulated?
ゆい先生、ちょっと、もう。
I put more strength into my resistance, and finally, her arms relaxed just the tiniest bit. But her expression changed drastically.
やだ。
先生、俺は持田聡で、司って人じゃ。
行かないで。やだ。
It was in that moment that Satoshi knew he should just let it happen. Alright. I'm out. My clothes are off. Miss Yui was acting like a spoiled child. Slipping out of the shoes I'd still been wearing, I again drew close to her sprawled out form. There was no way I could just leave her like this.
後で気がついて、怪しまないでくれよ。
Oh my god, bro. Miss Yui let out a lethargic groan, perhaps in response to my quiet murmurings. At my wit's end, I grabbed hold of her and did my best to carry her into the back room, gently wheeling her over to her unfurled futon. I then carefully laid her down, making sure I didn't drop her in the process. Look, I'm gonna tell you one thing, bro. Futons are fun and all, but once you sleep on that hoe for like a good, maybe 5 days or so, man, then your back starts to fucking hurt. And I'm telling you that from experience. Like, I used to have this foldable couch, bro. And it was one of those small, I guess you could call it the Japanese ones that would go on the ground. And dude, and you could fully lay it out. It'd be a little bed. So I laid it out, and there was a few nights where I'd sleep on that hoe, but damn, that hoe fucking hurt after a while, bro. Damn. Then there was the matter of rebuttoning those pesky pajamas again. You know you don't mind, Satoshi. Shut your stupid ass up. I hesitantly pulled up her pajama buttons and brushed away the stray hairs that were plastered on her brow with sweat. I'd done my best to avoid seeing anything I shouldn't, but I'm a guy, so my heart was pounding the whole time. I'm just saying, Satoshi's a better guy than me, bro. If I was in his shoes, bro, shit, I would have had a story for the boys. Miss Yui's pajamas were soaked through with sweat. She really might have been better off with a change of clothes altogether. So you decided to do her the favor? Oh, they got my ass. They got my ass. But no, that would have been going way too far.
タオルとか何か拭くものでもあれば。
Noticing a convenience store bag carelessly tossed on the floor, I glanced inside.
なんだ、冷却シート買ってきてあるじゃん。なんで使ってないんだか。もう。先生、ヒヤッとするけど我慢してね。これでよしと。
Okay, that's actually pretty sweet.
ゆい先生。
Miss Yui's hand had slipped out from under the futon and gently grasped my pant leg. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Her grip was much weaker than before. But I knew I'd probably regret it if I went home now. Low-key, bro, that's, after noticing that, bro, low-key, bro, just make sure she wakes up. Once she wakes up and she, she's good, then you can skedaddle, bro. Set her up to be better for, whenever you're gone. Miss Yui seemed really lonely.
仕方ないな。
Bro said, alright shit, bro. Without disturbing Miss Yui's hold on me, I took a seat beside her. For the time being, I figured I'd watch over her and make sure her condition didn't worsen. Occasionally, Miss Yui's breathing would become ragged, and she'd furrow her brow. She was in a pretty bad... she was in a pretty bad way.
辛そうだな。
Wasn't there anything else I could do? I glanced quietly down the hallway. I'd noticed when I carried Miss Yui here that the kitchen near the entrance was perfectly neat and tidy. There wasn't any indication it had been used that day at all.
飯食ってるのかな？
And the cat's probably hungry as hell too. Monet's gaze shifted suddenly. I followed it and saw pet bowls laid out in the corner of the room. One dish was filled to the brim with water, and the other was piled high with dried cat
な
food.
るほど。モネはちゃんと食べてるんだな。熱出してあんな状態になってても、お前のことはちゃんと考えてくれてるんだな。でもさ、ゆい先生、まずは自分の食事の心配をしようよ。
I shook my head at the whole situation, then glanced down at Monet, who was tilting his head as if trying to understand me. I thought that was a thing that dogs do. Do cats do that too? I don't know. I've never had a cat before. I broke into a wry smile. When I pulled out the cold packs, I did notice some cheap convenience store food in the bag as well. I guess that was going to be her food for the day. Not exactly the best stuff to eat when you're sick.
あと卵くらいはきっとあるよな。卵がゆでも作ろう。
Okay, Satoshi really locking in, bro.
先生、キッチン借りるよ。
Man, you know she's not gonna respond. Her face was bright red and her half-pained, half-contented noises provided me with no clear-cut answer to my question.
仕方ない。ゆい先生の代わりに、モネに許しをもらおうかな。モネ、キッチンを借りていいか？
Bro, I already know they're gonna give this cat a fuck-ass response. They're gonna be like, meow. Called it.
ありがとう。
Monet's cries helped assuage? What is that word? Assuage? What? Assuage my guilt over entering a woman's apartment and borrowing her kitchen. I guess assuage means to like calm? I guess you could, I mean, if you're one letter away from massage, right? And massage means to relax, right? I'm guessing it's derived from that word or vice versa? No shit, bro. I'm learning in this bitch. Hold on, bro. Shit. My antenna. I ain't talking about my brain. Okay. It's like, what the fuck you learning with, bro? What? Not that I had any reason to feel guilty. I don't think, anyway. I mean, circumstances were what they were. Still, I had this nagging sense that I should have somehow felt bad about what I was doing.
ゆい先生、ごめんな。ちょっと離れるよ。
Like, high key, bro, I would have done the same thing. Like, straight up, I would have done the same thing. I would have been like, look, bro, I'm here to, like, I'm here to do an errand. I witnessed homegirl, like, you know, in a bad state. I'm gonna just, like, you know, make sure she's good, because, like, obviously she wasn't whenever I got here. One by one, I gently peeled off each of the fingers latched onto my pant leg. Bro, there's literally just two. What the fuck you mean? If you let go of one, the other one's automatically off. The expression on her face changed as I was doing so, from contented rest to mild annoyance. But there was nothing to indicate that she might wake up.
よし、作るか。
Alright, let's see you whip up a meal! As I stood up, Monet mewed happily and began tagging along at my heels. And Miss Yui, now resting by herself in the bedroom, let out a sudden sneeze. Oh! Encounter. I wonder what this is, bro. Bro, like, you didn't have to give me this in my right ear, bro. That's my expression exactly.
ちょっとゆいかかったよ今くしゃみ
Caca. Wait, Caca means dookie in Spanish. Wait.
ごめんごめん。なんだか鼻がムズムズするの。
まったくもう。ティッシュティッシュ、あれどこやったっけ。
ああ、なければ私の使ってよ。せめてものお詫び。やった。じゃあ私使う。
私も持ってないよ。ティッシュちょうだい。
はい。
サンキュー。あんたたちね、ティッシュくらい常備しときなさいよ。
Who are these people? Don't laugh. Tell me.
面目ない。
まったく。
それで何の話だっけ。私の名前は宍戸ゆい、17歳。
Wait.
将来の夢は先生になること。
We're seeing Miss Yui as a teenager, bro. What? We're getting some lore on Miss Yui.
あまりよく考えずに人のことに首を突っ込んでは空回ってることが多い私だけど、
I spend most of my time doing nothing important, bro. Damn. Loki, bro, she's me for real,
で
for
も
real.
そんな私でもきっと頑張れば夢が叶うって信じてる。
Hisaragi Academy, 5 years ago. The cherry blossoms, I'm an idiot. The cherry blossoms were in bloom and the rustling wind carried with it the soft warmth of the season and the fresh stink of my fart. Chill. I'm playing. I was a high school senior now and was devoting myself to my studies in preparation for the day my dream could become reality. And that dream was to become an English teacher. My grades were on the fence for getting into the university I wanted though. So my best bet was to score a special recommendation from the academy.
はあ、よかった。急に呼び出されたから何事かと思ったよ。
Hey, this place reminds me of the school they go to in Persona 3, bruh. They got that little area to chill at, bruh.
ある日の放課後、私は職員室に呼び出された。ゴミ捨て場まで持っていくのも一苦労だよ。
なあ、
Bro, let me find out this is like her crush or some shit, bro. Man, look, forget about this dude, bro. Actually, hold on. Let me see what's up. Let me see what's up.
突然声をかけられてゴミ箱を抱えたまま振り返る。それは今まで話したことのない男子生徒だった。
Wait, is he the...
見かけたことなら何度もある。
He's probably the guy that she was calling out, huh? She's probably like he's probably like the high school sweetheart type shit.
彼は7組の三国司くんだ。
What I say, bro. Forget about Sukasa, bro. Think about me, bro. Think about me and my casa, shit, bro. Me and my house.
そこ、足元。根っこが出てるから気をつけな。
あーちょっとそこ笑うとこ。
だってよ。
もうそこはさ、大丈夫かとか聞いてくれたって。
悪い。
あ、いいよ、そんな手が汚れるよ。
別にいいよ、そんくらい。笑った詫びに手伝う。
ありがとう。
うん。これで全部拾い終えたか？
うん、もう大丈夫。
じゃ、行くぞ。
え？あ、
I remember it well, even now. This was my first time talking with Tsukasa, and he left a strong first impression on me.
ごめん、重たいよね。
別に。
やっぱり自分で。
いいって。はい終了。
ありがとう、助かったよ。
じゃあな。
あ、ちょっと待って。
あ？
俺させてよ。
いいよ女のこれくらいで。
いいからちょっと待っててね。
ん？
友達が増えるというのは嬉しいし楽しい。その相手が三國司くんというのも嬉しかっ
Bro,
た。
what I tell y'all,
司くん
bro?
のことは実は少し気になっていたから。
What I tell y'all, bro?
よいしょ。
The fuck is she whipping out? What type of contraption is she fucking? Most of the times I'd seen Tsukasa before this were in the school courtyard. He spent a lot of time there sitting alone on a bench. Even after school or during summer vacation, if I happened to pass by, I would always see him there. And after this little encounter, we'd go on to make many fond memories together. Yet somehow, the image of Tsukasa that stands out most in my mind is of him seated alone on that courtyard bench.
はい、どうぞ。コーヒー牛乳でよかった。
Cafe au lait. Oh, is that supposed to be like a latte?
まあなんでもいいけどサンキュー。
Bro, this guy's unimpressive. Like, man, you brought me this fuck ass milk coffee, bro. You know I'm lactose intolerant, bitch. Oh, you don't know I'm lactose intolerant, bitch.
これは私からのお礼なんだから黙って受け取ってくれればいいの。
Damn.
義理がたいやつ。コーヒーをおごってもらったしな。ついでに教室まで運んでやるよ。
いいの？
Are they just going band for band on favors, bro? Like, what?
あ
ありがとう。あ、私のクラスはね。
4組だろ？知ってるよ。宍戸ゆいっつったら有名だからな。
The famous Yui Shishido.
どうして？
今から先生みたいな女子がいるって12クラス全部で有名だよ。
それから私と司くんは何度か中庭で会っては話をした。校舎の中ではすれ違ってもほとんど話すことがないのに、中庭では不思議と話が弾む。
あ、またお前コーヒー牛乳かよ。
うん。
好きすぎだろコーヒー牛乳。
そんなことないよ。
1日に最低2本は飲んでるくせにか。
Damn, at her age, she's drinking too? I've been drinking coffee since I was a kid, bro. Like, it was from us, maybe like I was 10 or whatever, some shit. Like, dead ass, bro. I put money on it. Put money on it. Like, there's like I have a way to prove it to you, bro. Like, just ask my parents. But point is, like, that's a lot more than I ever fucking took as a kid, bro. Damn.
なんで知ってるの？
自販機でいつもそれ買ってるのここから見えるんだよ。ほらそっち見てみ。
ほんとだ。
昼休みも放課後もいつも宍戸がコーヒー牛乳買ってるのバッチリ見てたからな。
そんなこと言ったら私だって司くんがここのベンチに座ってるのいつも見てたよ。
いや知ってるけどなんでまた言う？
Bro, for real.
お互い気になってたんだなって思ったから。
Bro, she low-key like telling him like, hey, bro, I noticed you, you noticed me, bro. We know we feeling each other, bro. Shit. Oh.
なんだそりゃ。
中庭での会話はたわいのないものがほとんどだった。教室で友達と繰り広げる会話みたいにあんまり中身がなくて、でもすごく楽しくて。この場所夏でも結構涼しいね。
夏とか言うな。
あれ？夏嫌い？
夏季講習が目前に迫ってたら誰でも嫌いになるだろう。
まあね、私たち3年生だもんね。夏だからって遊んではいられないよね。
お前は随分と楽しそうだけどな。
私は夢に近づいてるって実感できて嬉しいよ。
ふん。
私ね、人に勉強を教えるの好きなんだ。頼られるのも好き。
なんで？
お姉さんになった感じがするからかな。ほら、私一人っ子だし。
ああ、うん。まあ頑張れば。
はすっごいどうでもよさそう。
だって人事だしな。
そんなことを言いながらも司くんはやっぱり優しかった。だって私の夢を笑ったりはしなかったから。先生になりたいって夢を話すと大抵の人は笑ったり茶化したりであんまり真剣に聞いてくれない。だけど司くんは一度も笑わなかったんだ。
The season was quickly turning to autumn. Oh shit. After the school day ended, the senior floor was always a lot more quiet than its underclassmen counterparts. Everyone was off studying hard at the library or with tutors. So one day, thinking no one else was around, I sat down in a lonely corner of the hallway. Initially, I had grabbed my shoes and left the classroom, intending to head home. But along the way, I just started crying. I was overwhelmed. My sobs echoed from one end of the hallway to the other.
この日、私は無事に志望校の推薦枠に入れてもらえることになった。
Oh, congratulations, dude!
嬉しくて仕方がなかった私はすぐに友達に報告した。けれどいつもなら手放しで喜んでくれるその子がふと表情を曇らせた。
Oh, what?
私の前でそんなこと言うんだ。まだ私は夢も何も決まってないのに。
Oh, you a bitch.
多分私はひどくショックを受けた顔になっていたのだと思う。巴はすぐにハッとしたように目を見開き慌てて謝ってくれた。だから私も笑って気にしてないよってそう言ったのだけれど
Damn.
気にしてないわけがない。巴の言葉と表情が鋭い針のようになって私の胸をつく。私考えなしだったのかな。他のみんなも同じこと思ってた。
シシド？
What was that little water that came out of nowhere? I know you heard that, Brett. Like, are you mopping?
声をかけられて振り向くとそこには司くんが立っていた。いつもは廊下であっても言葉を交わすことなんてないのにこの日はごく自然に声をかけてくれた。司くん。
すごい顔だぞ。ハンカチは？
持ってる。
じゃあ顔拭けよ。
Bruh. Bro, you couldn't have been. This is a perfect time for you to be like, hey, I got a handkerchief, bro. Here you go. Wipe yourself off.
うん。
Bro, you ain't gotta tell her to do it, bro. Or at least like, hey, do you have one? Let me see it. And then wipe it off for her, bro. Bro, come on, bro. This was the perfect time to make a move.
司くんが戸惑っている空気がひしひしと伝わってきた。彼を困らせたくなかったから私はこぼれ落ちていこうとする涙を必死に拭う。
何かあったのか？
何もないよ。
何かあったからそんなに泣いてんだろ？
これは友達とちょっと気まずくなっちゃって。でもすぐに仲直りしたから大丈夫。これはさ、そう嬉し涙みたいなものだから。
Damn.
ふーん。
嬉し涙って言えばね、私推薦枠に入れることになっ。
I'm not sure if I did it out of respect for Tsukasa or just because I wanted to change the subject, but I cut myself off mid-sentence. I was doing it again. What was I thinking? Not even Tsukasa was going to hate me for being a braggart. Braggart? Is that where I was bragging? Brag, to be a braggart? Is that the whole word? There was more to that word? Wait, what?
マジか。
He was happy for me. A bit taken back, I nodded firmly.
やったじゃんか。おめでとう。
うん、ありがとう。
お、
りが。
Aw.
だからなんで泣くんだよ。ふん。まだ推薦枠が決まったってだけで推薦入試があるんだろ
But that's not what's making her cry, bro.
嬉し泣きするほど喜ぶにはまだ早いだろ
そうだよね。でもそうやっておめでとうって言ってもらえたからなんか嬉しくて。
たく。
ごめんね。
何が？
泣いたりしてわけわかんないよね。
Bro, you know why? Just tell him, bruh. You know he's there for you. Or I mean, well, I mean, I had the impression that they were like cool like that, but I mean, cause like sometimes, bro, like you don't need to have like a deeper like I don't know, bro. Sometimes like even if you have like surface level conversations with like people, bro, sometimes like you just know that there's somebody you could trust. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
そう思ってんなら早く泣きやめって。
もう大丈夫だから。
たく。
As I rubbed my swollen eyes, a smile broke through, and Tsukasa let out an exasperated sigh. Then, as if suddenly remembering something, his eyes lit up.
そうだシシド、ちょっと待ってろ。
You know what? He remembered that she likes her cafe latte, bro. Look, he's gonna come back with a cup, bro. Watch. Tsukasa ran into his classroom, quickly reappearing in the hall again just moments later. He already had it planned too. Okay, bro. All right, bro. Maybe he does know what he's doing, bro. Shit, bro. He was holding something. It's a gun. That's like, all right, I can end your misery now.
お前にこれやるよ。
鉛筆？
Bruh, a pencil? In his outstretched hand rested a short, stubby little pencil. Not the sort of thing you'd expect someone to go out of their way to lend you. He like hands her this chewed up pencil that like has no eraser. The silver part that connects to the eraser is like literally chewed out, bruh. And the pencil itself is like stubby. It's like stupid small too, bro. Like it's got nearly no lead left in it, bro. It was pocketed here and there with small scratches, but still seemed to be in relatively decent shape considering how obviously well worn it was.
受験必勝鉛筆。
受験必勝？
これ使うと試験に受かるんだよ。
本当に？
ああ。如月学園に受かるのは難しいって言われてた俺がこれ使って受かったんだから間違いないよ。
じゃあこれ司くんが高校入試の時に使った鉛筆なんだ。
そう、経験新たかな鉛筆だぜ。
霊言新たかね。
Jerked out? Or for real, who says that, bro? What the fuck?
あ、それだ。負けんなよ。
Flutter? You know, whenever I read Flutter, bro, I'm thinking like she starts flying. But I don't know why. I'm thinking like, you know, because like whenever you say something's fluttering, right? It's like something that's like, you know, just like in the air, you know, like just chilling. I'm thinking like a hummingbird type shit, bro. Like, you know how they're stationary in the air as they like suck up that nectar, bro? You know, I'm thinking like the same thing here, bro. She just starts levitating, bro.
頑張れって言葉は辛い時にはプレッシャーになるから言っちゃダメってよく聞く。
What the? Oh, is that the real reason why people say break a leg? Nah, bro, I'm learning
なので
today.
私はこの優しい言葉が大好きだった。私頑張るね、司くん。
おう。
この日から私はどんどん司くんに惹かれていった。彼は全然そっけなくてちっとも振り向いてはくれなかったけれど。
I can still clearly recall the events of that day even now. It was October, the day before my entrance exam. The weather outside had been miserable since morning, and visibility was all but non-existent. It would be a bad omen if I were to slip and fall on that day before the exam, so I decided I'd wear boots to school, just to be safe.
行ってきます。
Bruh. When I opened the door, I was shocked to see a white-haired old woman laying on the ground, soaked to the bone. I frantically rushed over to her side.
おばあさん、大丈夫ですか？
She's like, "Give me back that pencil! Some twerp stole it from me, and now I know you have it. Give it to me."
しっかりしてください。どうしたんですか？ まさかひき逃げとか？
Oh damn. The road running by my house was narrow and mostly used only by our neighbors. But it's not like it was closed off to outside traffic or anything, so a hidden run wasn't out of the question. I looked over at the woman's body as best as I could. Fortunately, there were no signs of any serious injury.
よかった。事故とかじゃないみたい。
娘
はい。
今日は学校へ行ってはならん。
え？
絶対に行ってはならん。
The old woman raised herself up slightly and spoke hoarsely. From the tone in her voice, she seemed terribly
あ
desperate.
の、だけど、今日は面接の最後の練習があってね。
行ってはならんと言っている。
そういうわけにはいかないよ。面接は私が一番苦手とする試験だから。それより、おばあちゃんどうしたの？お家の人は？
どうしてもか。
え？
どうしても行くというのか。
うん。
ならばせめて。
Okay, I hit A by accident, my fault. Not knowing what to say, I nodded apprehensively as the old woman began digging in her butt through her pockets, bro. She produced what looked like to be a dookie, to be a crumpled scrap of paper. As she was digging in her ass, bro, I noticed that her breathing had become dangerously ragged, and she began considering my options to assist her. Oh, and began considering my options. Really, I should have gone back into the house and called my mom, but there was something about her that kept me glued to the spot. I sensed desperation in hiding in that unbroken gaze.
これを受け取りなされ。
何？
お守りじゃ。
Hmm?
お守り？
The old woman clutched my wrist and forcefully pressed the scrap of paper onto my palm. Tilting my head, I unfolded the scrap and looked carefully at it. At first, I thought I'd been handed a piece of trash. But it's actually just like a gum wrapper with the gum in it, with the chewed up gum in it. But when I unfolded it all the way, I saw that it was actually a paper doll in the shape of a human being. And then there was a name written on its torso. Whoa. Yes, my name. Written plain as day in easily legible
どう
brushstrokes.
して私の名前？
お守りだからじゃ。受け取らぬなら絶対に天神賞に行ってはならん。
You must not enter Heavenly Host Elementary. But she's going to... Wasn't it Kisaragi High?
天神賞？
そうじゃ。行くな。行くな。
Bro, who said she was gonna go? As the old woman cried out, the paper doll fluttered lightly to the ground. Almost instantaneously, it became soaked through with rainwater. My name began to run and quickly turned into an illegible black smudge. Seeing this, the old woman grabbed and tore at her hair.
うわーお守りがこれでもう抗う術は失われてしまった。
おばあちゃん落ち着いて。
よいか、絶対に天神賞に行ってはならん。
待って、おばあちゃん、私の学校は如月学園だよ。天神賞なんて知らない。
どうしたの？
Can we see Yui's mother, bro? I know she a baddie, bro.
家の前で知らないおばあちゃんが倒れてるの。救急車呼んで。
わかったわ。
But she's gonna be gone, watch. Paramedics arrived in a matter of minutes. The old woman seemed to be unconscious by that point, however, so the EMTs brought out a stretcher. Oh, okay, never mind.
お二人はこの方の関係者ですか？
No.
いいえ、家の前で倒れていたので救急車を呼んだんです。身元は分からなくて。
そうですか。では付き添いで乗車はされませんか？
The idea of making this old woman go to the hospital by herself just seemed like it would have been a shameful thing to do. Sure, she was a stranger, but we'd had a lengthy conversation mere minutes before, so it couldn't very well say we had nothing to do with one another.
いい、あんたは学校行っといで。
でも
この方にはお母さんがついていくわ。あんたは今日面接の練習があるんでしょ。
Good move, Yui's mother.
そうだね。
That's peak intelligence, yep.
それじゃあお母さんお願い。
I was a little hesitant, but I knew I really had to go to school today, no matter what. So I left the strange woman in my mom's care and, heading towards the school, walked right by her stretcher. Suddenly, a hand arose from the limp form of the old woman and grabbed my skirt. Startled, I tried to jump away but found myself ensnared by her terrible, bloodshot eyes. Okay, I don't know why, but like that that shit's killing me, bro. Like, I don't know why, but I'm losing all seriousness when I hear that.